G'day, this is Captainoob and we're back in Fallout 76. This is a vampire's laser rifle with VATS criticals doing 50% more damage and 25% less VATS action point cost per shot, which would make it a vampire's lucky quick draw laser rifle, I believe. But we've come in here and we're going to do something a little bit easy today because vampires makes the game easy mode, even if you do knacker your own health in order to get maximum efficiency from the weapon, which I'll explain how to do in a little bit. But basically anyone who's left playing Fallout 76 is an expert at this point. The game's barely changed at all. You can learn everything pretty quickly. So I'll quickly go through what I'm going to do here, then we'll get to shooting stuff and commentating. Yes. So 39 damage is what we're getting now. We can apply some perks to get a little bit more on top of that, which is nice. But even without these perks applied, which I'll have to check that I'm applying all commando here because many a video I've used the wrong perk set, and that's all good. But even without all of these commando perks, which adds just a little bit of damage onto your gun, I found that the criticals are actually extremely powerful on this anyway, which is basically what we're going to run to in terms of how we get our damage. Now, the way we're going to be accomplishing that is we're going to have a full luck, we're going to have full unyielding at Nerd Rage, and a bunch of legendary perks, not legacy. I can even add more into there. We're stronger now than I was before I hit the record button, that we've got extra AP from agility and a little bit of extra luck. We only need, I think it's 34 luck to get a crit every other shot on our VATS attacks, so that'll allow us to get those criticals rolling really fast and increase our damage that way. We've got Tenderizer, not sure whether that's still multiplicative or not, and we've got a little bit of extra room for some perks, which I didn't catch what was here before. I think I had Gun Fu at rank 3, which is there, that's great. Escape Artist and Evasive, we'll do that. Evasive just for a little bit of extra tankiness. We're going to be healing with this thing constantly when we're shooting stuff anyway, so that's just a little bit of extra staying power in the fight. We've got Serendipity here for resisting damage, like a coin flip chance to do that. Better criticals, Critical Savvy, and Grim Reaper Sprint, so we can use this thing and utilize it in VATS particularly effectively. Grim Reaper Sprint, if that procs our AP back, which means we can continue on the burst, which is a 35% chance. It's a 1 in 3 chance every kill to get that going, which I think is frequent enough. And you can see that we've dumped intelligence here because we don't need Gunsmith. Yes, Gunsmith, there it is down there. Or we don't need the Demolitions Expert because we're not using the explosive weapons, so we've shifted all of those points over to Endurance, which gives me Fireproof. That's less damage with flame attacks and explosions. That's pretty helpful. Mainly, it's this Life Giver perk and the derived HP that we get out of Endurance that'll increase our staying power, but extra 45 for 4 points of Endurance. Good amount of tankiness. We've also got this. We don't have to worry about getting crippled if our limbs get broken, which is great because if you get crippled, you get staggered and then you stop firing, and then that puts you at great risk of dying. We've got only 1 rank of Concentrated Fire, and we've got 2 ranks of Ground Pounder to fill that in just for our faster reload. Hipfire accuracy, not super applicable here because I'm going to be exclusively using this thing in VATS anyway, but we've got some extra damage to get in terms of Nerd Rage and Adrenal Reaction when we get our rad bar filled up nice and well, but 62 damage now, that'll change. Alright, so our health has been drained down to a fairly low amount. We've still got 55 hit points, which is a lot higher than what we'd get out of something else. The combat music has started. I think the gulpers down there are getting rowdy. That gives us 90 damage now, which is fine, it's okay. Keep in mind that the rate of fire is above standard 75 for laser guns, so the DPS is quite good. Plus, Bethesda fixed that thing where they fixed the thing where sometimes, or rather how energy damage is calculated, so that 90 is actually pretty strong. But more importantly, it's Golden Winter. You've got Golden Winter on your screen. Type thanks Golden Winter to keep the Fallout 76 videos coming. It's for luck. Alrighty, welcome to E3, and wait, it's cancelled this year, isn't it? Well, allow me to demonstrate why. So, looks like the Super Mutants have all come out to play. We've got a decent amount of accuracy to start off with, thanks to our high perception and derived statistics thereof. And if we just zero in on the head, get somewhat lucky with our shots, we can obliterate these super mutants really fast. Although I'm noticing that they're only getting... Hey, that dog killed me. I think the dog was a higher level than everything else. Yeah, right. Alright. We're back in now, and there we go. There's Demolisher. A true test. There he goes. Blink and you missed that one. Okay, I need to regain Nerd Rage here, although I probably don't need it all that much. One should always check their armor condition before going into combat. I think that's why I die. Like, three or four of my armor bits were completely broken. So now we should be slightly better protected, but we gotta pay a little bit of respect to these mutant hounds. We'll take that lesson and we'll learn from it. And that is why we chose Gun Fu, and it's time to go inside. I'm gonna blow up this truck. That's what you get for not being a Commodore. Alrighty, so now we're on the inside, and you're about to see a clearing that is faster than people spamming this place with the nuka grenades. The ones where they've got the what do you call it? The toy gun, the water gun, the nuka squirter, is that what it's called? Anyways, it's like that. You've got that in your inventory, and there we go. I was wondering where the heals were. I really thought I'd get a little bit more healing out of this, but we're gonna cut straight into this room here. And unfortunately, we're only getting super mutant warlords. I don't know why. The game's trying to go easy on me. Maybe it's a bug, because I'm not seeing any super big differences in terms of the time to kill between the warlords and the champions. But I think you get the idea. There's numbers on screen for you to look at and comprehend the amount of damage we get out of this. So that's a Demolisher. The time to kill here is minimal. It's really strong. I'm kind of still worried about the dogs. If I had to make a quick change the loadout right now, I'd probably take 3 out of Endurance and put maybe Blocker. Folks playing at home might want to consider doing the same thing. But the ability just to heal ourselves without having to resort to stim packs every 2 seconds, it's pretty nice. I don't mind that. Anyways, back out the other side now. A push of a button and we'll be just fine. We'll get back to regularly scheduled super mutant slaughter, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. We've gone through the bulk of them now, just got to mop up the rest of them. We could even get some cheeky sneak criticals in here. Not that we'll really benefit for it in terms of the Mosquito legendary perk, follow through. Forgetting all the names here. Out of sight, out of mind, I reckon. But regardless of that, 487 damage for a critical headshot. You're getting, let's see, a crit every second shot, and when you can fire this fast, it's pretty damn impressive, I think. Even for a no damage, more of a utilitarian prefix like vampires, it's doing pretty well here. And I think we're all clear, so we'll move on to the ghouls, the zombos. Alrighty, so I think we'll do the usual tricks of, let's see, we'll just run around, we'll dance around them. Hang on, I've got dancers. This is Fortnite. What do you reckon? Nice camp ghouls. Yeah, that'll rile them up. These guys are the people that don't like camp. Actually, is there any people in Fallout 76 who don't like camps? Like, I'm sort of don't care either way, but I don't hate them. I think some of the best things I've ever seen. Ooh, Jesus. Best things I've ever seen in terms of the community's creativity out of Fallout 76. Nice moonwalk, bro. Well, that worked. Yeah, don't worry, I'll just edit that one out. So here we are, the ghouls have already woken up, which is great. I'm gonna back myself into a corner, and let's see if Gun Fu can carry me through this. Hoping for some big explosions, courtesy of far-flung fireworks. No, we're not gonna target the one right next to us. That's crazy talk. Well, we're getting through them pretty well, but we've got a couple of deficiencies in the weapon. There's the far-flung fireworks. A little bit too late, I think. Never mind, they're still around. But, yeah, our magazine here is sort of holding us back quite a lot. 21 rounds will go very quickly when you've got such an incredibly high rate of fire like this, which will leave you vulnerable in time for reloading. So there's another reason why we chose to select ground pounder, of course. There we go. And through the smoke of the explosions, we've got to use VATS to see if anything's through there, because you're completely blind otherwise. We've only got 12 rounds left in this thing. Don't worry, we'll edit that one out too. And the Wendigo goes down. So all of the ghouls cleared out without a single death on the list. So, yeah, we did pretty well there, I think. And we're still in caution from something, but honestly, I don't care. Let's just move on to the monsters and the next thing. Alright, time to extend the ranges out a little bit, but we'll close the distance nice and fast should our accuracy not be adequate, but I feel like it is. We're gonna need to get a couple of shots on these guys for them to drop down. The Blood Eagle can't spot anything, so no doggos will be sent to my position, but actually, someone's activated that. Did it post-mortem without a head. Yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty stock standard for 76 behavior right there. We'll just ignore that. We've got adrenaline going at the moment for another maybe 10 seconds, so we'll look to utilize this against the behemoth who's sitting there. As always, quick sneak attack critical on him, and gone before the mag is through, which is pretty good. Remember, you get through that mag quick. Alright, time for some crab hunting. This shouldn't be too bad so long as we don't get any of the Mirelurk Kings spitting acid from their sound wave holes, their mouths, if you will. Now, so far so good. We've been pretty fortunate to get a little bit of gunfill action here. Bats is sort of lined up for us pretty well, and we should be able to pull a Mirelurk Queen out. I'll hit him now when I've got full adrenaline and nothing else is around. Actually managed to get that Mirelurk Queen a little bit. Might go for the spouts here just for safety. Yep, okay. There is a bit of damage over time. Cut that reload off, but I think we should be able to get that damage over time sorted out with the healing from the weapon. And you know what? We're just going to go with full headshots here. We're going to go full damage against the Mirelurk Queen. And Queens, they make you work for them these days. No longer a full mag dump. I think they didn't change the health. I was just used to using legacies all the time. I think it's too late to spawn you little babies. Yeah, we had a full charge of gun fu going on that last Mirelurk, who screams in agony as he is probably promptly turned into a puddle of ash. Pile of ash. Okay, that was pretty good. We held our own against a Mirelurk Queen, so we're improving. So I'm in sort of two minds about this particular weapon, because although its DPS and power is great, the mag capacity problems in situations where crowd control is a thing really needs, well, if you could get like a quad version, but then you won't get the healing factor, right? So you've got a weapon that is blazingly fast, good DPS, and can keep you alive, but only for X amount of time before the weapon runs dry, and you have to stop for a reload. And as you saw earlier against those ghouls, running in, charging in like that, that really didn't work out for me. Which means that you kind of have to sort of not be as aggressive as you think you ought to be able to. Because if you get yourself into a position where you need to desperately reload or shoot something and you're caught in a reload, then you're just gonna die, which might not be a problem for like literally anyone, because death is meaningless in this game. But if you don't like the inconvenience of staring at a death screen, or maybe the health, maybe your loading screens take far too long and you miss out on a scorched earth fight if you die, then a weapon like this, although it's going to do great for damage, you might struggle in terms of your staying power in a crowd control situation, which kind of sucks. The versatility factor here is somewhat wasted on its small magazine, which I think is the worst thing I can say about it. Another thing about laser rifles in Fallout games in general is that, at least Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 generation, is that all of the bullets are hit scans, so all of the bullets travel at light speed. Nice somersault, dog. Right into the camera too. Which means the advantages of using a weapon that literally shoots a beam of light for its projectile are completely lost. And that's not the case with energy weapons though. Compare a Gatling laser to a Gatling plasma, you'll find that over ranges, the Gatling laser will be a lot more consistent and easy to use over range because you don't have to lead targets, especially during something like a Scorched Earth fight, where you've got the Myla Queen? No, the Scorch Beast Queen flying at a distance sufficiently far enough away to render your slow-ass plasma projectiles null and void. But, like I said, if you can get that DPS on, like, one magging, that's a spooky Scorch, I think. I think that adds to some sort of weekly this week, but yeah, that's a thing. There's extra script and bullion too, I think, and spooky Scorched. Anyways, ooh, stubbed our toe there. That's what you get for running around in heels, Winter. Sensible shoes next time. Anyways, so that there was a Vampire's Lucky laser gun. It's a pretty good weapon. Couple of problems I have with it, but through a slower, more cautious playstyle, you could probably get away with those things or work around those flaws. I just want you to check the dates on your computers right now, or on the upload date. This is a prank, by the way. Fallout 76 videos aren't back. This is just a one-off. You've been pranked.